I don't know about you, but I don't think they like Donald Trump.
As host of his own show and co-host of The Five on Fox News,
He's responsible for COVID. He's responsible for its effect on the economy.
Greg Gutfeld moves easily between role of entertainer and provocateur.
So, was that a debate or what?
And now he's putting that famous dry wit on paper with a new book about growing and becoming a better person in the midst of this pandemic. The Plus, self-help for people who hate self-help.
I found it shocking that I'm actually doing a self-help book because I just don't seem like the right person for it. But I feel like the book is designed to help people, and it's based on some pretty concrete advice that everybody, when they reach a certain age, kind of understands.
Things like being what he calls a plus. He says it's less about positive thinking and more about positive being.
So you wake up every morning and you go, okay, so am I going to make the same mistakes that I did yesterday? Am I going to go on Twitter and when somebody upsets me, am I going to engage in some kind of Twitter battle? Or am I going to tell myself, and it could be, you could actually verbalize it and say, no, you're going to be a plus.
And that's exactly what he's done.
In this pandemic, I have changed my behaviors because I realized the behaviors that I had before during the pandemic would end up being really destructive. And I'm talking essentially about diet and exercise and social media. These are all things that, you can kind of keep compartmentalized in a normal day. But when you're alone in your house, you can eat more. You can watch a lot more television. You could spend all day on Facebook or Twitter. These are all of these things that can actually you can indulge and become worse.
Other problems on which he offers solutions: mob rule and the growing move to erase.
How do we go about canceling cancel culture?
So you have this thing on social media, you can call it mobbing, where people just get together and I don't want to be mobbed, so I join the mob. We understand this, it's a historical story. People are historically scapegoated because other people are scared. So what I talk about in the book is that we need to share the risk. Number one is we need to share the risk. That means if you see somebody that is being targeted, you cannot join the mob. You need to be on their side. Even if they make a mistake, even if you don't like them, especially if you don't like them, you need to accept an apology immediately. You need to forgive.
And on the topic of aging and being happy,
you write that you are personally in the happiest time of your life. I know you write about creating your own curriculum. How did you get to this point, Greg? And what are some of the things that you do in your day-to-day?
I find that I need to counter what I get from the media and entertainment and culture because I find it so destructive. I find the media to be very pernicious and divisive. And I need to get out of there and go find stuff that makes me, more substantive. So what I do is when I say make your own curriculum, you could today, just go to YouTube, pick 3 topics. I want to learn French. I want to play the guitar. I want to learn more about philosophy.
And he's practicing what he's preaching by learning the guitar on YouTube himself.
You can kind of create a well-rounded person on your own these days. There's no excuse with the internet, and you might as well use it for good and not evil. I mean, instead of spending an hour on Twitter, learn 4 chords on an acoustic guitar.
I think a lot of our viewers would be interested in hearing you play the guitar. Maybe a new segment on the 5.
They tried. I will not embarrass myself. I actually think I'm halfway decent, but I have this weird disorder that when I'm put on the spot to do something, I completely do it terribly. But the moment that you leave, I do it excellent. Except when I'm on when I'm talking, I can talk about anything. But when I have to perform something, and say, Greg, show us show us that song that you were learning. I will fall apart. But then when you leave, I'll be playing beautifully.
Maybe someday.
The only person you can probably ask, do you have blood on your hands is O.J. Simpson.
For now, he plans to stick with what he does best. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.